Hi, my beautiful people. Have you guys ever thought that you suffer from ADHD? Well, I told you guys that I'm very upfront, very authentic, honest, and I'm bringing the uncut real me. This is who you get. Well, recently, and it's crazy because I say recently because I started to notice some things within myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Chat GPT. Sometimes we tend to joke around, be like, oh, my ADHD kicks in. We laugh about it, talk about it. Let me take this up out of here. I think it's in the middle. We talk about it and we joke about it. But I decided, you know what? Let me take it a step further and let me do some research on Chat GPT. So, Lord, behold, I input symptoms that you suffer from ADHD. Or Lord behold, ChatGPT gave me like 10 things, a list of 10 things, and it explained each thing in detail. Well, I have all 10. It made me think. I was puzzled, and I have to admit, I was bothered. Why was I bothered? Because it tells you, hey, it's good. Granted, I have not been diagnosed professionally. This is me just, putting it out there. So, me knowing, like having that feeling, and then reading all this, researching it on Chat GPT, asking all the questions, and seeing that all 10 things fit me, all of them. I have to admit, I was a bit hurt. I was like, ugh. I start questioning myself as to maybe this hasn't worked out for this reason, maybe this happened because of this, and so forth. So I was a bit in my feelings. And you know what? It's basically just telling you, hey, I have a problem with procrastination. I do. To me, it's like, oh, I see things like so tedious, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to do all this. So it tells you that's one of the things, procrastination, and I'm very guilty of that. That's one of my weakness. It tells you how to break down each thing by time. It tells you to buy maybe a journal, maybe go to your notebook, put timers so like that you can accomplish things. Maybe work 25 minutes, and out of those 25 minutes, you're going to, well, work 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break and then continue doing what you are supposed to do. Now, it's crazy because at work, I'm extremely organized. I do like to write things down. I have post-its. A lot of people tend to confuse it for laziness. And I'm going to be honest, it's not lazy. It's part of procrastination. And you all, if you think you suffer from that, I highly recommend that maybe look it up, do your own research to find out, like, hey, you know what, maybe I need, if it shows you a list like it showed me, perhaps you should take it a step further and be like, hey, if you have health insurance, maybe go see a psychologist and talk to them about some of the things that you have. Granted, I hate taking pills. I don't think I need pills, but sometimes like your concentration, because you see with people with ADHD, and this is just speaking for myself, I repeat, I am not diagnosed with it. This is me doing my own research per what I've read and my way of being. Um, it says, perhaps you need something as far as like therapy. It shows it. They give you things and ways to work around it, such as buy a journal, break things in by bits and pieces so you don't get overwhelmed. One of my things that I tend to do, and this is how I started to, it's that I started to think this, is because I'm doing one thing and then I jump into another one. So it's like I'm multitasking. I'm jumping here. From one thing I do this. I have 1,001 ideas, and I can never focus on one thing. It's just something within our brains that's the way it functions when you have ADHD. And again, I'm this is what I'm telling myself. I shouldn't predict it upon myself, but it's true. That's how my mind works. If I'm doing one thing, okay. I start here, yet I'm doing another thing. I come back to this. It's like I'm bouncing around doing 20 million things. I cannot stay still. Still, for me, it's like you get antsy. You just can't sit still. You can't. And I say it's crazy because as a child, when I asked my mom was like, "You were such an amazing student. I've never heard a complaint from a teacher. You was always very respectful. You wasn't moving around. It wasn't like you couldn't stay still. Nowadays, these kids, they just simply can't stay still. So in kids, they forget their book bags. They're very forgetful. As an adult, things like I always tend to misplace my cell phone. That's one thing about me. That's why I have to leave things in the same place where I found them or I got them, because you tend to forget things. You're constantly losing things, and unfortunately that's part of that. Procrastination is part of it. So going back to my childhood, I never gave my parents issues. Never. In fact, I have an overprotective brother. So when I was younger, my brother was extremely overprotective with me. It's only two of us. And again, he was extremely overprotective with me. He he didn't like for me to go outside, which as an adult I understand because we didn't grow up in the best of neighborhood. So I understand what he was doing was more out of protection. So I would stay home listening to old school music. I'm an old soul. And I would write lyrics. And I remember this. So I was like, this is crazy. That now as an adult, it's that I'm noticing all these things. But as a child, I never thought I had an issue. My mom didn't think that either. So neither. I'm sorry. And so I wanted to share this with you because I'm going through that now in my life, where you're questioning yourself about so many things that are going on in your life, as far as like, hey, maybe this didn't work out because of this. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful. Ah, sorry. You just start questioning yourself about so many things that go on in your life. And then you're like, maybe it's because of this, or maybe it's because of that. The struggle is real out here. It's real. And if you feel like maybe, hey, you're going through a situation, like you may feel like, hey, that you are ADHD, you research it. I haven't scheduled no appointment with no doctor, not yet, but I have to because it's only going to benefit me. You understand? And I wanted to bring this up to you guys because we tend to joke about it, but it's real. It's real. So if you're going through the same situation, do your research. It's not the end of the world, but it just hurts me because of everything I'm going through in my life. And now I look back and I'm thinking maybe it's because of this. You know, Please, if you like this video, share it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up